Star Wars Squadrons is a game I like, and I think there's a lot of reasons you could like it too. Its fun, intuitive starfighter gameplay allows us to pilot Star Wars ships like never before, although the game is more challenging than some of you might have anticipated and doesn't actually tell you everything you need to know about how to fly. So with that said, here are 5 things Star Wars Squadrons doesn't tell you, and hopefully these will improve your piloting abilities, but also show you what else you can do with this game. Hey everyone, it's Andrew. But first, before we start, you might have heard in my last few videos, I'm giving away a few copies of Star Wars Squadrons. You can follow me on Twitter at Bombastic to hear more about the giveaways real soon. Coming real soon. Okay, first up, you probably know each starfighter is capable of being equipped with countermeasures, which prevent enemy missiles from either locking on or hitting your starfighter, but nowhere does the game tell you when to actually activate the countermeasures, because if you activate them too early, there's a chance the missile will stay locked onto you and your countermeasures will be ineffective. You'll have wasted them and be useless. So what you want to do is, you see these triangles here. These only appear when a missile has locked onto you. The more of them that turn red, the closer the missile is to hitting you. So what you want to do is wait until all of these are red, and as soon as the last ones go red, hit the countermeasures button. That way, the missile that's locked onto you will instead lock onto your countermeasures and be countered. This is especially the case with the Seeker warheads, the most standard type of countermeasure. These fire projectiles behind you to intercept the missiles. The particle burst countermeasure works a little differently, as this one drops a cloud behind you that stops projectiles. A good idea to also activate this one just as the final red triangles light up, but you need to fly in a straight line to make this one work properly, as the cloud drops directly behind your ship. Okay, next up, you've probably noticed that capital ships have subsystems that you can attack when trying to take it down. Destroying these deal a lot more damage to the capital ship and give you a much easier time of destroying it, but it's not really clear that destroying each different subsystem has a different effect on the capital ship's powers and abilities. The first one here is kind of obvious: the shields. Destroying the shield subsystem disables the shields and keeps them disabled. It won't be able to put its shield back on every time. For the Star Destroyer, the shield generator is these 2 balls on top of the bridge. You got to destroy them both. And on the MC-75, it's the 2 ridged side panels, one on either side. If you destroy the capital ship's power systems, these will reveal weak spots on the ship for you to deal extra damage. Weak spots are those blue electric sections you might have noticed in the Fleet Battles tutorial. Shoot these and you'll deal more damage to the capital ship. On the Star Destroyer, the power generator is that big circular bulb on the bottom of the ship. You got to destroy this. This used to be the life support in the original Battlefront 2 for all my OGs who remember that. And on the MC-75, the power is the pointy bit all the way at the bottom. Destroy this and it'll get the job done. And then we have the targeting systems. By destroying these, you'll decrease the rate of fire and accuracy of the capital ship's auto turrets and all of its weapons. But based on my experience destroying the targeting, it doesn't seem to nerf the capital ship as much as you'd like, but it does make bombing runs a little easier. You just won't be as bombarded as before. It'll still be shooting at you though. The targeting system on the Star Destroyer is this section here, and on the MC-75, it's the pointy bit at the top. Just as a little bonus tip as well, you can see the health of each capital ship subsystems on the tactical map in the respawn screen. So every time you die, you can have a look at this. I think it's also accessible in the pause menu. Okay, next up, you might have noticed that your starfighter's turning capabilities change based on how fast your ship is going, but just how fast is it that they change? When do they change, if you understand what I mean? You might remember in Battlefront 2 Starfighter Assault, slowing all the way down allows for the sharpest turns, but in Squadrons, you're able to come to a complete stop, so this doesn't really apply. There is, however, a sweet spot for turning, and this is something you can actually see on your cockpit displays. If you take a look at the throttle, you'll see that one part of the display is sticking out a little more than the others. This is your sweet spot. If you line up your throttle power at this level, if you're going at this speed, you'll have the best turning circle and maneuverability. This is where it's at. You'll also hear a single beep every time you throttle in this sweet spot, and since learning this, I've been keeping more of an eye on my actual throttle display during matches, especially when circling around to take down an enemy, because even though you're not traveling at the fastest speed, you'll be able to turn the quickest, and just think, your enemy might not know this. So you'll be able to turn faster than they can, get the advantage on him, take him out, and you win after that. That's what happens. Okay, next up. This one comes directly from the game director Ian Fraser. If you've got someone on your tail, double tap X on PS4 or A on Xbox, and this will bring them up in your targeting display. This is great also for finding the nearest enemy, but also for knowing where the blaster fire is coming from, who keeps locking onto you, who keeps attacking your ship. Double tap that button and you'll find out. And then what you can also do is tap triangle on PS4 or Y on Xbox and let your squad know you need help. Pressing this button sends out a beacon to all your allies that you're in danger. It highlights you and they'll be able to find you and hopefully help get that pesky attacker off your tail. Using this targeting technique is also great if you're chasing another starfighter and don't want to lose sight of them, so you're basically calling in the reinforcements to come and save you. I find it works especially well in fleet battles where dying can mean you're out of the action for a good 30 seconds. By the time you die, wait for the respawn timer and then fly back into the action. It can take that long, so using this will hopefully keep you alive for longer and make you work more as a unit, as a team. Okay, next up, one of Squadron's most defining gameplay features is its lack of a leading reticle. This is what we had in Battlefront 2 and is basically a HUD element which helps you aim ahead of where your enemy is flying, so your shots will anticipate their flight path. The Star Wars Squadrons developers made a conscious choice to leave this out, so instead of looking at the HUD and relying on that to hit your mark, it's up to you to manually lead your shots, and you're actually looking at the starfighter to do so, not at the HUD. And this is something I think a lot of players might not realize. If you see a starfighter in the distance, don't fire directly at the starfighter itself. Instead, what you want to do is fire in the direction you think they're headed. By the time your shots get to their location, hopefully they'll be flying directly into your shots and into trouble and hopefully into death as well. They'll die because you're shooting them. Try and lead your shots is what I'm trying to say. Aim for where they're going and your marksman skills will improve. I'd even recommend equipping one of the laser cannons that are more effective at long range so you can hang back and really get a feel for how much you need to lead your shots and get a feel for how this mechanic works. And next up, we have a bonus. This one's a little Easter egg you can trigger in the Imperial briefing room. If you wave at this stormtrooper here, there's a chance he'll wave right back. He'll only do it once though, and as far as I know, there's no other NPC that waves back. Just this guy, this trooper here. And I might have spent a little too long waving at all the people in the briefing room. Just keep on waving, hoping someone finally waves back. Cool to see him breaking Stormtrooper protocol though, and risking his neck just for a little wave, a little acknowledgement. Thanks man, appreciate it. So, have you guys been following any of these tips? And do you have any other Star Wars Squadrons tips? What do you think of the game? Are you enjoying it? You can watch some of my other Star Wars Squadrons videos here, check out my full playthrough of the story, and follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and join my Discord for more Star Wars Squadrons to hear about the giveaways and everything else. And thanks for watching this. My name's Andrew. I'll catch you soon.
Stay bombastic.